My deaf girlfriend just told me, I think we need to talk. That's not a good sign. Welcome back to another AlphaStar YouTube cast. Good to see you there, YouTube. I hope you've been well. It's been a hot second since yesterday when I uploaded another one of these, because I've been doing AlphaStar every single freaking day. So if I'm doing it right, I should be linking the full playlist up here. Get caught up. There's been so many of them cast. We've had pro players take on AlphaStar. We've had unknown master level players take on AlphaStar. Kind of like what we're going to see in this game here. But, as always, to the top left, we have the Blue Terran, AlphaStar! And their opponent, the very human, well, inhuman, Zerg Red Master level player. Now, AlphaStar's Terran has been equally impressive and silly, and with every single one of these casts, you hear me kind of go on about how dumb the build placement is. I'm going to skip that on this one. I'm assuming most of you have heard it before. But one thing that we've seen power through with a lot of AlphaStar, and especially AlphaStar's Terran, has been its macro. So if this ends up being a long game, it's one of those ones where I pretty much favor AlphaStar. If Master Player can throw it for a loop, maybe a quick Roach Warren turns into a Ravager all-in, maybe can start spicing things up a little bit. But it's all, for me, going to be on the human for this game to make the moves. Zerg, in the first place, just has that playstyle that is much more reactionary, so it's a bit different. But I really, truly think that if you want to beat AlphaStar, you don't necessarily have to cheese it per se, but you definitely don't want to let it get away with a lot of macro play. Being able to build a lot of units efficiently while not looking at home gives it the freedom to micro on the front line, and that is where a lot of the power for the macro lies in AlphaStar's capabilities. But as far as the early game goes, pretty standard. Builds a Reaper to scout with. Key thing will be seeing this faster third if AlphaStar gets the opportunity. Although I think AlphaStar is good enough that if the Reaper gets over here, scouts the natural, and sees low saturation, that'll tell it 300 minerals have been spent somewhere else and not on workers. So could be satisfied in that regard. Gotta be a little careful here with the Zerglings. Almost finding yourself in a very sticky situation. Last thing you want to do is lose that Reaper. Oh. On creep, the Lings are fast enough to chase it. Off creep, not quite the case. So that got a bit spooky there for AlphaStar. And of course, I kind of skipped this part of the replay, but again, if you guys want to see more, learn more, see the replays yourself firsthand, I will, as always, be linking to the Deepmind website link in the description down below. So you can find out more about AlphaStar and their thought processes on it and all that cool stuff through the blog post. But more importantly, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, all the replays I've grabbed that I'm casting from this one, for example, are available there for you, the public, to see for free. But this... Whoa. Whoa. Back up. Hold on. Rewind the replay. What was this jump? I guess, okay, it's not that big of a deal. That looked like an impossible jump to make. Most of the time, you can't make it down those ramps. I've just never, ever noticed a Reaper do that in that spot before. But, okay, anyways, getting back to the game. Cloaked Banshee's on the way. Several Hellions to pair with it. This is a pretty standard way to play Terran. I don't think that this has anything too exceptional to it. I would definitely like to see it come in to start getting some bios soon, if we're going to be having a bio game, but maybe AlphaStar's got mech in its pocket. Either way, Tech Lab comes in on the factory. No Tech Lab on the barracks, so no fast stim or anything as such. Could be fine, though. Let's see how much damage these Hellions can do. First 3 drones here should be an easy pick off. Very nice hit and run. And he just dodges at the Queens. Some damage taken on the Hellions, but not too much. And let's not forget, with Banshees coming out too, that's going to be an extra layer of headache for the workers. You know, on one side you're trying to push off the Hellions, on the other the Banshees are ripping your mineral lines apart. And our master level Zerg player at present doesn't actually have Spore Crawlers down, as we very typically see. I think between the threat of Liberators, Drops, and Banshees, you should almost always have these Paranoia Spore Crawlers come down, even with no scouting information to confirm it, which, by the way, our Zerg player has now seen the Banshee. That's been revealed, and that's why I think we're seeing the Spore Crawlers come down. But this is going to be no fun dealing with this. If handled correctly, this can actually really embarrass a Terran player. If you handle the Hellions and the Banshees get nothing done, it hurts. But with 4 Marines added to the front line, this doesn't seem like much, but this is actually totally just enough to start killing Queens. Whereas without the Marines, the Hellions just have to try and skirt around them. So Banshee's going to see that Spore Crawl and realize there's not a lot of opportunity to do damage, but could just simply poke away. Whether it's a Ling, the Queen, what have you. Meanwhile, this force wants to get in there, and I don't think there's an armory yet, so there's no Hellbat transformation available. But the Hellions just need to wash the Lings off the Marines, and the Marines, albeit 4 of them, can kill these Queens. As long as they're not the ones taking the hits. But Transfuse is going into this. Hellions not firing very efficiently. Now focusing the fire to the Hellions. Queen just deletes itself. No death animation whatsoever. Second Queen goes down. I can't say that this was worth it, but this is about to kill almost every Queen on the map. 1 up here. 1 dies down here. 3 remain. And of course, they're going to be brought to deal with the Banshees, but 2 Banshees can fight a Queen, no problem. Focusing the spawning pool is weird. Supply depots are not that good, but the tanks take care of it, I suppose. Things do get splatterized. And AlphaStar really wants to kill this spawning pool. I don't know what happened to her, you know, in her development. A spawning pool did her wrong or something, but something has offended her, and she really wants this spawning pool. But being pulled away, AlphaStar will not get the kill that she so desperately wanted through those Queens. Good transfuses from the Queens, though, to keep it alive, because all jokes aside, if this spawning pool goes down, no more Ling production puts a huge pause in the army capabilities of our Master player, who right now hardly has any army to speak of. This does worry me because they've got a great economy through their drones. They've saturated 3 bases up real nice-like. But having all those workers means nothing if they die to a push, because they've only got 20 army supply to work with, most of which is Queens. Infestation Pit's got me curious if this will be Nidus Swarm Host or if this is going to go to a Hive. With all these Queens queued up, it doesn't seem likely that it'll be Hive, though. In the meantime, back at home for AlphaStar, 3rd base goes down. That's going to help the AI get the economy rolling. It's not exactly doing too poorly. Mules are definitely keeping it on par with the Zerg right now, but that 3rd base is going to make things better. It is Swarm Host by the looks of it, and we even have ranged weapon upgrades continuing on, so Queen's going to get benefit from that, but so will the Locusts. Not that Locusts really need damage upgrades. They're kind of insane what they do as is. But when you play Terran, there's not really a great way to fight off those Locusts. Siege tanks positioned properly, maybe if they're on the ground, but ideally what's going to happen is you'd have either a lot of Marines and a lot of bio to fight back the Locusts, or Hellbats. But no Hellbats in this game, just pure bio. I am pretty worried about this, to be honest. I think the Swarm Host move is a really powerful one. And I don't even speak about this from a balance standpoint. It's just going to be such a big surprise blitz. Because you're going to have Banelings paired up with this. Granted, Baneling speed's nowhere close to done yet. If these Marines split, they'll die to the Locusts. If they clump, they'll die to the Banelings. So it's a really nice complementary force that Master Player's setting up here to fight against AlphaStar. Who, again, let's just quickly remind everybody, they, at the time of this game, don't know that this is AlphaStar. This, to them, is just a Terran player matched on their level. Could be anybody. But you know what? I've said Nidus so instinctively, and I realize now, to this point, there's no Nidus Worm. This is just a very awkward mishandling of Swarm Hosts, and I mean, sure, this might be a bit of a surprise move, but then they're going to be exposed. Banshee should kill that, no problem. In fact, what we're really missing from the equation right now is Banshee speed to hunt all these units down. But between friendly fire from the siege tanks and Locust damage themselves, yeah, jumping on top of this, I guess there had been some potential for damage in the Mineral Alliance, but jumping on the Marine Squad like that, not the right move, not in my opinion. Oh, no Spore Crawler. It's been moved from earlier. Might be able to get that spawning pool kill that they were trying to get earlier. And it looks like, yep, spawning pool is about to go down. This is going to hurt a little bit here because our Masters player was ready to start flooding Lings and Banelings at a moment's notice. Now doesn't have that option anymore. No detection's also making this a real pain. Where are the Overseers, dear human? Oh my god, the Banshees are just racking up the kills at this point. And of course, this was a sweet distraction because now there's a huge force pushing down the middle of the map. A very classic TvT composition adapted to this TvZ scenario. Marine, tank, but there's so many tanks. 9 tanks looks ridiculous. I don't know a good way to deal with this right now. Locust maybe, but that's not really part of the equation. Not anymore, with only 8 swarm hosts in play. Setting up a flank is the right move for sure, but taking way too long to get in position. And now all those Banelings are on the wrong side of the fight. The Banelings aren't here to fight the Marines. They're running into the siege tanks. It's a gauntlet that the human player cannot win. Oh my god, not even a single siege tank died. The base falls apart over here, and our human player is completely out of chances to win. GG! AlphaStar locks down another victory. Thank you guys for continuing to watch my AlphaStar games. I really appreciate the support that these kind of games are getting. The views on YouTube are wild. And while this is normally where I tell you to like and subscribe, fuck that. I just want to say a quick thank you for watching. And I hope to see you on the next one.